Anyway.
Yeah. So what? It's your boy, Bits and Bob. Yes, people, welcome to the Kopping Mechanism. All things Liverpool. I am joined with some few, I say few, all gentlemen. We go from Douglas in Scotland to Ryan in Dubai, Steve in Liverpool, and Daniel in Switzerland. A very, very mixed global Liverpool fans. Guys, how are we all doing? You okay?
I'm good, Bobs. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm great. Listen, I'm six of the world, on top of the world, or whatever you can say, doing the six. But listen, it's about you guys tonight. All things Liverpool. Ryan, Steve, Daniel, you guys okay?
All good, bro. Yeah, all good.
Good to go.
Good. So, guys, look, Liverpool. Obviously, like I said before we went on, I didn't want to really touch on the ESL, obviously. But Liverpool, I think before we go into the Man United game, where's Liverpool right now? I see Konate. You guys are going to break. I say break the bank, but as it says, release clause, I believe.
Yeah.
So you guys are meeting that. See. Does anyone know any bit more, or is it just paper talk?
We've been looking at his stats looking at the data for him for some time because he keeps picking up muscle injuries.
Yep.
And we're trying to then extend to those muscle injuries. Could they be down to things as simple as a diet or a training regime, and are they likely to reoccur? Because obviously we buy players for a system, so the player profile has to be spot on.
Yeah.
So he's been on the radar since January with regards to this. This has been brewing for some time, and then reaching the point now where they're going to sort of trigger that clause, and they're negotiating Kabak for 9 million as well at the same time. It's not 18 anymore; it's 9. So for me, 9 million for him's a no-brainer because we can't rely on Matip. So
yeah,
we do need two centre halves, so that those two will shore up the defence and prevent from things like this year ever happening again.
I see, Daniel. I see you like nodding there a little bit. Doug, I see you as well. Do you guys agree with Steve, or is it a bit of shrewd business, or is it smart business now that going by the defense, not of the league, but the defense itself with your injuries, which you obviously couldn't have seen happening?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Matip has been a very good servant for Liverpool, but the problem is his career has been curtailed by injuries. And I think Kabak for 9 million makes sense. And then obviously you've got Konate coming in as well. I think the starting two will definitely be Van Dijk and Konate. And then I think you'll have probably Gomez and Kabak. I think that's probably our 4 centre backs for next season.
I think it goes with Gomez.
I was going to say, yeah. Does that show an intent to try and? I'm not going to say compete because I think you guys will compete anyway once your players are fit, right? Daniel, you sort that business out with Konate. Obviously, you sort your defenders. Is that where the business starts with Liverpool, or are we looking at a certain Egyptian leaving?
For me personally, I wouldn't want the business to stop there. I feel like we need to get a midfielder. We also need to get a forward. I feel like our midfielders are a bit. They play the same way. They're all energetic. We don't have enough creative players, and we've seen this season Klopp doesn't trust the creative players. There've been so many games that Milner will be starting ahead of Keita and Ox, or Milner will be coming in ahead of Keita and Ox. And if Klopp doesn't trust Keita or Oxlade-Chamberlain over 36-year-old James Milner, that's very damning, and we need midfielders. Plus, Genie is leaving. With Salah leaving, I know Ryan's feelings towards Salah, but me personally, out of the front three, he's the last person I want to leave. Like, yes, he can be annoying. Yes, he can miss chances, but he puts them in the back of the net. Every season he's played for Liverpool, he scored minimum 20 league goals. For me personally, you can't argue with that. So I'd love him to stay.
But is Salah not the person that should be sacrificed? Because I'm looking at your team right now and I'm thinking Salah is probably the only one besides Van Dijk, obviously, that commands 100+ million. So welcome Vinci, welcome. We were just basically talking about Man United winning 6-2. I'm joking. No, we're just talking about the new rebuild Liverpool. We've talked about your centre backs. That Kanate is going to be a bit of good business. We see Matip. Is that I'm pronouncing it right, guys? Matip. Matip leaving, and I just asked Daniel there. Salah. Daniel saying he doesn't want the business to stop there, but Salah obviously. I think he's 100 million plus easily. Personally, shouldn't he be sacrificed now to rebuild again?
Up to him. It'll be on him. He's the guy.
Do you think it's up to him? Because
he's talking to the Spanish press. He doesn't speak to anybody. Yet 3 times this year he's entered into an interview with the Spanish press, and they've asked the question. So at some point in the future, do you see yourself playing for one of the big teams in Spain? And he won't rule it out. They never do. Back in December, we had a journalist on our show that was purely a Liverpool journalist, and he said the feeling is that Salah's going to be looking for a contract, and right now Liverpool are not interested in negotiating a contract. So he's either agitating to force the issue over the contract, or he'd be happy to take the move. And said this before with both Mane and Salah, they're both quite ambassadorial in terms of developing their own countries. We will never pay him 300 grand a week, whereas Real Madrid will. Imagine what he will be thinking, what he can do with that money to develop his home country, because they are that way inclined. So the pluses for Salah are that he gets a lot more money. He's accomplished everything he can accomplish with Liverpool, if you're honest. He's not got the love of the club that some of my colleagues in his lobby have got. He doesn't have that. It's a means to an end. It's money, isn't it? He doesn't love the football club. He doesn't have the same feelings that we do. So
are you bothered by that, though, Steve?
I'm not worried by that. No, because that's football today, mate. That's the way football is. We've talked about Mbappe potentially being a bit of a romantic notion that he might sign for Liverpool. But last week we agreed if he signs for Liverpool because of the LeBron James connection, because of the Nike connection, because of all of those things, he doesn't spend the next 10 years at Liverpool. He stays for 3 or 4 and then he's off to Madrid because he's a marketing tool. And that's the way football's going. And I think we all have to accept that. Ronaldo was the first guy to bail out of a top team to go and play for another one when he left United for Real Madrid.
I was watching an interview.
It's becoming that way. It's becoming that way.
I was watching an interview
it's a conversation, so please jump in whenever.
Yes, Steve, I'm happy you said that because I was watching an interview the other day with, I think it was Ruud van Nistelrooy and with Rio Ferdinand, and he admitted that in his contract he signed an extension with United, but the only exception was if Real Madrid were coming, that United would have to allow him to talk to them. So I feel like with most foreign players or players who are not homegrown, the end goal is to either play for Real Madrid or Barcelona, because let's face it, they're the 2 biggest teams in the world. And if they come for Salah and he wants to leave, I won't blame him, because like you said, he's won the league, he's won the Champions League, he's been PFA Player of the Year, and he has 2 golden boots.
When you say it like that,
Lengman, serious Lengman. You hear that, Riyad? Yeah.
Guys, can we just appreciate that we've got Vinci, aka Trent Alexander, we've got Doug, aka Andrew Robertson, up in the corner there. Can we see the resemblance? Was it just me? No.
Bob, you're feeling good today. I can hear the extra oomph in your voice. Yeah.
I was hating coming on here after that result, man. Fuming.
Listen. Look, we welcome Saint. We welcome Saint tonight. Saint, how are you? You okay?
I could be better, man. At half time in your game, I was very good, and then after that, it was techie. It was techie after that.
Say, don't bother yourself with Europa. Like the quality of football, but like
we might have to, brother. We might have to say hello to that,
bro.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. With the way we're playing, our football fits right into Europa. Let's be real, right now.
Europa Conference, bro. Allow, man. Give us some credit in it. Put some respect on our name, yeah. Nah, all jokes aside, bro, we are shocking, bro. It's a mad.
Give us teams like Carrier Bag FC any day.
Bro, we think it's Wi-Fi codes now. It's going to be a mazine. It's going to be no vowels, all consonants.
I can't believe Van Dijk, he got injured when we were in the Champions League, and he's going to return with us in the Europa League. That's something else. That's something else.
No. You make a very valid point. Do you know that this last week, I'm trying to wrap my head around the players we've accumulated that are definitely Champions League players, and we're now literally putting them in a position that's like, you're now Europa, you're gonna play Europa League. Like Van Dijk's gonna come back, like he said. Thiago is going to be playing Europa.
That's crazy. This guy's won 9 out of 10 league cups, and I'm
won the Champions League last season.
But is that not the you know, I don't want to touch on the ASL, but is that not the beauty of the English Premier League, though? You know,
agreed.
No,
do you know like,
no.
I don't know if it's beautiful, but
no, but like it is though, isn't it? Because like you can win, you can dominate football, and then obviously injuries and so on. But in the league, it's not as easy as ABC, isn't it? You know, just to be able to just go win. It's hard to go again because Liverpool are still the team that everyone wants to beat this season. Let's be honest. You know, when Liverpool come around to your own home turf, Liverpool are the team to beat, regardless of how your form's going on. You're still the current league champions, and you know everyone raises their game 10 to 15, 20%. You know, and okay, you guys haven't been playing the best, but that's the beauty of the game, though, isn't it? Because you're now talking about being the current league champions, but unfortunately, you may be playing Europa League next season.
But I'm glad you said that. Like I said, I've had a long think after the last game last week. I'm seeing how opponents are playing us right now, especially Leeds and Newcastle. I don't think they're afraid anymore. You know, they've not been afraid for a minute since 2021. But
yeah, they haven't been afraid for a while.
No.
Yeah, like so right now I see there's a certain confidence that teams have in the second half. They really believe that they can come and get a result and possibly even win.
In the first half, we haven't killed the game off against Leeds and especially Newcastle. In the first half, we should have killed them off. Newcastle, I mean, we should have been about 5-0 up in the first half.
Real Madrid, bruv. Real Madrid, rude boy.
Real Madrid.
Guys, I ask you guys this question. When was the last time we scored 2 goals in the first half?
Brother, I'll ask you a better question.
Probably Palace. And then Salah's goal against Newcastle, I think that's the earliest I've seen us score in the first half for a very long time.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I think
boys,
2 goals in the first half.
2 goals in the first half, yeah.
When's 2 goals in a match?
The last most convincing win I can think at home was Wolves, and that's going back December.
Yeah,
definitely.
So not this year then.
So not this year then.
Yeah.
But you know, okay, you know, you touched on the goal last week. You know what blew my mind, and I think I said it to the boys, is how Salah can finish that, like, and then
miss
the sitters with Real Madrid.
Big difference, Vinci is that he doesn't have to think. The goal against Newcastle is instinctive finish. The other ones where he looks up, sees the keeper, and doesn't know what to do with it because he's not a natural finisher. That's just he had a swing at the ball against Newcastle. He had a swing at it, mate. And
that's a very, very good point. I think the fact is our front three are not natural finishers.
No, they're not.
Like Roberto Firmino is not a natural finisher. Sadio Mane is not a natural finisher. And Mohamed Salah is not a natural finisher. We're actually missing a prolific striker. And you know, you look at the names that are being mentioned. Like Patson Daka seems to have gone pear-shaped because I believe he's going to Leipzig with Jesse Marsch. Malin's been mentioned at PSV. The only problem is his owner is his agent. Sorry, is Mino Raiola. So you're looking at you're looking at £20 million plus 15 million to Raiola, so I don't see that happening. And I don't know if you want to believe the Sancho rumours, because there is rumours about Sancho.
No.
But
it's possible. Look,
He's
anything
not
can happen,
prolific.
Doug. In football,
He's not prolific.
And I don't.
He's not
I think
prolific.
right now, looking at Liverpool from outside in, from a rival's point of view, there's not much to tweak in the sense of personnel. Look, you get all your players back fit. It's a different animal, isn't it? It's a different machine.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
100%. I think,
and
other than
go on.
other than forward line, they're still the same done out, dry, hard bread. 4 years running in the legs, done out, front three. But you're right. Other than that, our midfield is bolstered and our defense is up. Yeah, I'm saying, but our front three is still our front three.
Our midfield is bolstered, but Klopp only plays 4 players though.
Yeah. Do you not think the front three though? This might sound a bit erratic here. Have they not earned a bad season?
Of course they have.
Because
100%.
Do you know? Like, look, it's very easy. Like we're very open, right? We'll criticize them and praise them respectively. However, I said to you guys last time, you guys won the league with 14 players, 14, 15 players max, and to dominate the 2 seasons back to back, Champions League's no easy feat. Winning the league the way you did it is not easy, and though you made it look easy, but you're still using the same 14, 15 players. Do you know? And to perform at that elite level every time, and then come the 3rd season where everyone hates you. And when I say hate you, they want to beat you. Mane's not going to have his way today. Salah's not going to get the space. Bobby Firmino is not even going to get the ball. Do you know what I mean? It's tough. It is tough.
But
no?
Bobs, that's a good point. My thing is, I want to zoom out a bit and look at the entire and just stretch out to Klopp a bit. Okay. So I think it starts from Klopp, and this is his personal challenge where he knows how to take a team to the top of the mountain, right?
Yeah.
But what he lacks as a coach is to be able to keep a team at the top of the mountain. So
he went 2 years winning the league back to back.
Right.
That was it, right?
So he needs to get to this next gear where he needs to have a different plan and strategy on how to use players and also get the right players in, even if it seems like there might be too much or like too many over-skilled players in a certain position. Have that, because that's what Man City has been able to do, and Pep has learned that throughout his experiences, where he almost has a world-class player in every position just ready to switch up. And Klopp hasn't really been able to invest in that in the teams he's built. That's why, a lot of people say that he runs players down. That's why, you're right when you say Mane, Salah, and Firmino, they do deserve a bad season. Sometimes even a season and a half. But the problem is when you have kind of all 3 of them, but it's not really all 3. It's really 2 of them. But when you have a bad season with the kind of shock we've had in terms of the injuries, it's not a good time to have a bad season. That's why we can't.
Is it not? Let me put it this way to you. Okay, they have the forward line have a bad season, guys, right? But you still have your defense. Is it not emphasized a little bit more because of the players in defense that's been out injured?
Bob's. Well, the thing is, it's like these front 3 players have never been clinical. Even when we did win the league and Champions League, it was like, and I always say last season when we won the league, people always say, "Oh, we got lucky in matches, we won by the odd goal so many times." If you actually go back and watch those games where we won by the odd goal, those games should have been about 4 or 5 to us. We just missed so many chances in those games that we'd end up having to hold on a bit towards the end. But because we had such a good defense, we'd be able to close out the 1-0 or the 2-1 or something, or that kind of result. But now, because we haven't got the defense, we are ending up dropping points because our forward players can't finish, which is what they've been doing anyway for the last 2 years anyway.
I agree. 100%.
Also, guys, we're playing on a stretch at the moment because of the way we are, because of how deep our defence is sitting and how disjointed the distance between the back three and the back four and the front three is ridiculous. So when it breaks down, the last person you want trying to track a man who's running off him is Thiago, because you didn't buy him for that.
Trust me.
We can't. So there's an idea that Gini Wijnaldum slows play down, right? So just wait with me on this one, guys, for a minute. So the ball's played across the back four, left and right, to try and create openings to see what's happening in front. Fabinho, Robertson, Fabinho, back to the other side, comes across again and goes into Wijnaldum's feet. He turns. Firmino's occupied. Mane's occupied. Salah's occupied. All he's got is a square ball. The second he plays that square ball, Twitter has a meltdown. Get him out of my club. He's a ghost and all that nonsense, right? What happened when we had everybody in the team? And I go back to this ridiculously rigid system that if one of the cogs breaks down, the whole thing is absolutely goosed. Yeah. Is that you give the ball to Van Dijk, it's a 60-yard ball to feet to Salah, and straight away you've turned the opposition around and you've got space in behind them to move the ball across the front three and create openings and score goals. Since October, we haven't had that.
The runs as well. Yeah.
And since October, we haven't had that. So we can point to individual players, and I've said this on this show before. Wijnaldum's not getting up to support Mane. Robertson's not going past Mane, so he's kind of up there on his own. He's not playing well, but that isn't helping at all.
100%.
What Klopp is very stubborn in terms of his system. You're right, Vinci, he needs to have a plan B. He's very, very stubborn. That is a ruthlessly efficient machine when it all works well. But as we've seen this season, when something breaks in that system, everything breaks. One player coming out of that system in Van Dijk undermined the whole thing. Yeah. And then we took players, specialist players, out of midfield and put them at centre backs and replaced them with Curtis Jones, who isn't ready to play 10 games in a row in the Premier League at that level. So you can write this season off. You just need to draw a circle around this season, write it off, get all the guys back in the summer, have a look at where you're at, add the players that we're going to sign. I mean, apparently we put a package together to Brighton for Bissouma to come in to replace Wijnaldum.
Yeah.
Have a look at what you've got. There won't be a change of shape because half the squad are going to go off to the Euros. There just won't be the time to get them back on the training ground and work on that. Leicester are already doing it, which I don't imagine they are. So we're going to be left with the 3 in midfield, 3 up front and 4 at the back. But I'll tell you this now. You bring Van Dijk back and Gomez, who I think will be the 2 preferred choices at centre-back when everybody's available. It's a different game altogether because we'll push the back line 30 yards further up the pitch and we'll engage our opposition in areas we can hurt them, which we're not doing at the moment.
Does everyone agree with that?
Yeah, but Steve, in addition to that, go ahead, Saint.
Go on, Saint. Yo, Saint, I want your hoodie, man.
Same. That's what I was thinking of. I was going to go on the private chat.
Come on. Safe, my guy.
Drop the link afterwards.
I know, yes.
I got you.
You know what it is? Saint's got a new mic as well. Big up, man.
Yeah, bro, I was doing all madness. Make sure you, man, are checking out the combined 11 we done. It drops tomorrow at 10:30. Little plug in that. But yeah, sorry about the sound issues. Was mad. Bobs was doing a madness. Obviously, you know what Bobs is like, bro. Just doing a madness, bro. Yeah, no, listen. I do definitely agree with a lot of what Steve said. I think like it's undoubtedly a fact that when we have the options like we do defensively, yeah, cool. But even offensively with Van Dijk, it is a madness. However, Newcastle, Brighton, Fulham, there was large parts. Are we going to sit here and not say that there was large parts of the bare times? I've even said, bro, we've got a man like Kabak and that in the let's move back a little piece. Like we have been pushed. Like there's times when we've played the same football, and do you know what I mean? We've had an off the ball movement. One thing I would say is our off the ball movement has been shocking. It's been really bad, and
Yes.
it falls to what you say when certain man like Ronaldo looks up. There's just no like, and it's just no options, man. Like, and it's like we're just touching the ball up. You give it to a man and he wants to touch the ball 3-4 times before he even starts. I'm like, bro, just give the ball because you're gonna then have to move. Look at Man City; they just give the ball and move, and then before you know it, they're in next. And I do think that it's unfortunate because I hear what you're saying. I'm like, you're right. You know, these men they got Euros and that they're not gonna have to. But I really need them to be on the training ground doing something a little bit.
Yeah.
Get back to that. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it's not like because we've had these guys, we've now moved back and there is such a large space. There is. I hear what you're saying, but there's a lot of times when we have been pinning them, and we've just been doing absolute wahala. All 400 shots and do you know what I mean? 2 on target and that. It's a madness, man.
No, but
Richie, I'll get you to wrap up on this one.
But Say and Steve, right? I hear what both of you are saying, and Steve, this is why I'm saying that we need to do more this transfer window. I think this season has showed us what we can be, and it's a freak season. We don't expect something like this to happen again, but at the same time, what we've seen is the moment, we have if questions. What if next season comes, we get our back line? What if one of our strikers don't fire anymore? Right? What if
there's the elephant in the room question? There's an elephant in the room question that you wanna ask, but you don't wanna ask because you don't want to put it in the air, Vinci. I know.
Yeah, bro.
I know, bro.
I'm thinking of it as well. Don't worry.
Of course, we all know, bro. We all know, bro.
Listen, ask it.
Shut up, Bobs, man. I know. There is that aspect as well, but touch all the wood in the world that, you know what I mean? Like,
pray to God, pray to Allah, pray to
every. You know what? Quick tongues intervention. Boom. You know them ones there. Make sure man's coming back firing. Like, all right, carry on, Vinci. I know where you're going. There's a lot of variables that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And my thing is, I think we've won enough for us to be able to replace some of the players we have. That's waiting on the sidelines to get to challenge for the starting 11. And we want to be in a position where I know a lot of us will agree we don't fancy these tournaments like the FA Cup and Carling Cup and stuff like that. But I want us to be in a position where we can look at our bench, mix and match, and actually make it to the semi-finals of the Carling Cup or the FA Cup. Just having that, we can afford that. I think we're at that level we can. 2 Champions League final showings, 1 Champions League winning, 1 Premier League, all in 3 seasons. I'm sorry, we should have handled this season better for what we've achieved, and we should be looking better in the future in terms of managing fatigue, managing aging, because these players are aging, and also managing our competitions better, so that we avoid all these injuries further along, and also so that we can actually get to this level of domination again, because we're not fans that want to just settle with, in 2019, 2020 we won this league, yay. No, we want to dominate. We're here to stay. So we need to send that message this transfer window.
But that's hard to do because winning becomes a habit. Winning games of football becomes a habit, and it gets into your DNA and it gets into your club. And even when you're fatigued, if you're 18 points away from the Premier League, you don't think about fatigue. You score a goal, you don't think about fatigue. Then when you hit the Holy Grail and you lift the trophy, the fatigue hits you like a train because you actually achieved your objective. So next season, when they go back in, they're going to need to win 5 or 6 games on the spin when the season starts to re-inject the confidence and the intensity back into the team. Because right now, injuries aside, that is a factor. It's not an excuse. It's a factor. There is a problem with intensity, and there is a problem with the will to win in the squad.
100%.
And there's only one person that can change that. That's the manager. And that's the biggest question that collectively Liverpool fans should be asking of Jurgen Klopp is, why do we lose 4-1 at home to Manchester City? Would it take 54,000 Liverpool fans in there to stop that happening? Possibly.
Mhm.
And if it does, why? And those are the questions that somebody has to ask him, and he has to answer them.
I think with
Go on, Ryan. Wrap it
Sorry.
up. Go wrap up on that one. No, don't say sorry.
I think
Man. It's a good
in terms of what
conversation.
Steve was saying before about when we get our players back, the Van Dijks, the Hendersons in their right positions, and we get basically the strongest first 11 back for next season, we do become a different beast. But I think we improved to the point where I think we're comfortably a top 4 side. I'm talking maybe where Man United are position-wise in the league this season. I think we've become that. But do I think with this same team, when we get the players back, that we could challenge City for a title next season? Nah, I don't think we can. I'll be honest. I think City
It's a tough act. It's two different questions, though. It's two different questions. Are you looking forward to your players coming back so you can get this machine going? Yes. Are you in a position to be able to compete with City? No, because that requires personnel. I think no one's Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles here. We all know what City, what you need to do to get on their level. City have got 2 players for each position. We need to remember that. They have a world-class squad and they have a world-class manager. Yes, Klopp is a world-class manager. However, he does not have the funds available
The
to
resources.
Pep does. Yeah,
We're always going to be David in this Goliath match.
Exactly. Do you know what I'm saying? And to give you an example, you guys signed Kabak. They signed Ruben Diaz.
Yeah.
And
Bro,
and
they signed Aki. They signed Aki for 40 million just to keep the bench warm, just on a nice one. 40 million.
That would have been a not bad acquisition for you guys, actually. But 40
not
million,
at 40 million. Not at 40 million, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
No, 40 million.
There's a question here. I said to the comments about unpopular opinion about Liverpool, and they says Liverpool won't finish top 4 again next season from the football philosophy. What's your thoughts about that, Doug? I want to hear from you. What do you think about that? Is it a fair unpopular opinion? Remember, it is an unpopular opinion.
It is, yeah. I mean, look, I think Chelsea are going to strengthen, United are going to strengthen, City are going to strengthen next season. I think it's going to be very, very tricky to get into the top 4 next season because you've got teams like Leicester, Leicester City, Tottenham will probably be back. Arsenal. You don't know with Arsenal, but
I honestly jokes around here, Doug. It's fine. They're not serious.
I honestly, the problem we're going to have, and I said this earlier on Nick's Corner, the African Cup of Nations starts in January. So we've got players like your Keitas, your Manes, Salahs. If Salah's still here, we're going to lose them in January. So it's about the players who are actually still there to step up, and I'm just not sure that we've actually got the personnel to step up right now. But I mean, I don't see us winning the league next season. I'll be totally honest. I think we're gonna have to have another season of just to rebuild. I think I would honestly say next season I would take 3rd place right now because I think the top 2 are probably going to be Man City and Man United.
You see, that's pissed me off. I'm not angry at you, but I'm angry at the situation because we can't I'm sorry, if you break it down, we went from 97 points. We were 1 point off winning the league. 97 points wins the league in every other season. We made the Champions League final. When Van Dijk came in from that January till May, we were the 2nd best team in England. Even though we didn't finish 2nd, we were the 2nd best team in England. Made the Champions League final. Then 97 points, then 98 points. Then this drop off, and then to be below United. For me personally, next season, we have to be looking at challenging for the league. We can't drop off and then say we're happy with top 4.
Yeah.
for me personally, we don't have that luxury because other teams aren't standing still. Like you said, Chelsea are there. And it's not as if Chelsea are going to be buying the likes of Patson Daka. Chelsea will be trying to buy Erling Haaland. Chelsea will be trying to buy Rafael Varane. Chelsea are trying to win the Champions League and Premier League. So
Patson Daka's away to RB Leipzig, if you believe the rumours. Apparently, Jesse Marsch is going to be the new manager there, and there is already an agreement that Patson Daka is to go.
Marsch has been confirmed by Leipzig, so that one is 100% confirmed. So if what you're saying is right, then we've missed out on Daka, and for me, it's kind of annoying.
Are they Liverpool quality signings though? Like, I mean, are you trying to pick in here? You know, like I'm thinking, you guys, okay, and like real talk, right? Look, the Haaland transfer is gonna be a circus, okay? And if I'm led to believe what I'm reading, his dad wants 20 million, Raiola wants 20 million, he wants something up to 300 grand a week. So. And then we don't even know what the fee is. So before you've even spoke to the guy, you need to part way with 30, 40 million to his dad and his agent. Then you need to set up price. Like, come on, man. Like, he's kidding himself on, but he is a brand. And then you're looking at all the other strikers, and let's be realistic. No one's signing Neymar. No one's signing Mbappe. Then you've got to look down at the next tier of strikers. And I think this is what people on Twitter, you know, the football fickles and stuff of football don't realize that you can go on FIFA and go on career mode or whatever and sign these other players, blah blah. However, in real life, okay, in reality where we all live in,
it's
impossible.
That's the thing. That's the thing, Bobs. Is the thing that everybody says. Like I saw a tweet the other day. I can't remember who actually tweeted it, but someone actually tweeted that we're going to be able to offload 12 players and then buy another 12 in. This isn't FIFA. It's not career mode. It doesn't work like that.
It's not FUT. Go ahead.
Honestly, like the Ollie Watkins rumours just baffles me. He's had one good season in the Premier League, and yet we're being linked with him.
But is that not the Premier League though? He's English. You know, has one good season.
No, it's Twitter. Stop being Twitter, mate. Twitter's got us signing 112 players. That's just on the Monday, mate. So.
but boys, I want to bring one thing up though. Man United finished 4th last season, right?
Third.
Even better than I thought. So they finished 3rd, right?
Mm-hmm.
They went on a run, right? Finished 3rd. This season they've improved. They finished 2nd. Now, how many of you really?
Have they improved?
No, they have from third to 2nd.
It means they're like in position, like
they've improved in position, but like
not points. Yeah,
because I don't know how much of that is because we have slipped off. Chelsea has, you know what I mean?
Exactly, but I'm bringing this up. I'm bringing this up, right, because of the whole question about us challenging or winning the league. So Man United, if you looked at the beginning of the season, nobody ever, even they themselves, Bobby, I'm sure can admit this, they didn't think they would be 2nd. They were actually aiming for top 4. Everybody thought it would either be Man City or Liverpool winning the league. Facts. So now, when we look at, okay, the like Steve said, it's not excuses. It's kind of like factors that have come into the season with Liverpool. Those come back, right? I don't see how, with what the type of football we've seen this season, coronavirus and its implications in the in the finances and the transfer market, I don't see teams changing too much of what they're doing this season. I don't see too many players coming in. I think some might try and offload 1 or 2 players, especially the top clubs, but I don't see too much in terms of like drastic players, drastic shifts. So with that being said, when these pieces come back for Liverpool and we're playing the teams from what we're seeing, we're not going to be seeing us struggle against Fulham. In fact, Fulham twice have looked like they could beat us whether it wasn't luck with Fulham. We're not going to look like
over us.
What?
They should have done the double over us. They should have beaten us like
exactly.
They should have beaten us at Craven Cottage.
Yeah,
exactly. So we're not going to have these games against Fulham, against Newcastle, and Leeds are always unpredictable. But I think we will be stronger. These smaller teams, we will deal with them. Now it's just going to be a question of the bigger teams. But once our defense comes back, I think these smaller teams, they will be more intimidated. Right now, we've seen a season where they're not afraid of us. They're coming in, they're playing out, they're countering, and they're looking good against us. But that's not going to be the case next season. And if you beat the smaller teams, you have you're easily top 4 if you're really handling the smaller teams each season. So I don't see us struggling. I do want, like I said, I do want us to get to a level where we're competing for almost every competition and for us to get stronger squad. But I'm looking at Man City. I'm not looking at Man City and Chelsea, to be honest. I'm not looking at, I guess, Man United. They're going to try and do something.
I'm only looking at City.
But Man United need to strengthen because right now, I don't think they're as good as they are. I don't think when our full squad comes back, I don't think they're better than us. But that's a thought.
No. Do you know why we're not better than you? It's because of the managers.
Ollie.
Yeah.
Because of the managers.
Just go back to the point before.
We have to be honest. You know why?
Our managers just better.
Just going back to the point before about Ryan said when everyone comes back, he's not sure we can challenge Manchester City. There have been 10, maybe 11 home games this season where we've either lost it or drawn it against teams we should be beating. Yeah. If you take the 6 defeats at home, which I can't remember the last time a Liverpool side did that, that's 18 points. We're in second place. So don't expect the same type of thing again from Liverpool with a full defence, with a midfield, with the specialist players in their specialist roles, where the fullbacks can join up with the front men and reinvigorate those guys to some degree. I said before, just draw a circle around this season and write it off, bin it off, put it where it belongs as an experience that none of us have enjoyed, because we will not be the same next year. It simply won't happen. We will not give up that many points at home.
We won't be the same, but I will say this, and I will continue to say this, and I will continue to bang this drum in it. Like, I don't care what no one says in it. Our front three are still not clinical, and they are getting less clinical because they are getting more fatigue, and they don't seem to be taking more rests. They seem to be playing more football. These man, like Doug just said, are going to hop on a plane in January and go and kick more ball to then come back to kick ball. Like,
you know what you guys have not factored in? Like, people talk about Euros, they talk about AFCON. You know Salah's going Japan for Olympics.
Yeah, what I'm talking about. More.
I am amazed that is going ahead. I am absolutely amazed the Olympics are going ahead, especially with the amount of cases in Japan right now. Like Japan's cases, I think I read somewhere that Japan's cases were like 5,000 today or something. Like, how the Olympics is going to go ahead? Like, yes, they're going to be tested every time they go and do their events, but even then it's very, very dangerous. And yeah, you're absolutely right about Salah going to the Olympics. I just think that is just too
risky. Crazy.
Man, they going to AFCON.
At the same time, the Euro League is going to be there. They're going to have the Euro Cup. So for me, I mean, unless we're sending a message that cases are better in Europe than in Japan, I mean,
Vinci, at the moment, like, I just checked right now, Japan is going back to the peak of when coronavirus was very bad for them. Like, the graph is literally like that. It's going straight up. Yes, 4,000.
So in some regard, it may very well be the case that cases are worse in Japan than they are in Europe. Unfortunately,
guys, let's not get into the technicalities of coronavirus. But I get your point. I get your point in the fact that he's going to the Olympics. for me,
it's not even just that. It's not even just him. It's all of our front three.
Yeah.
They are all. What they need is
it's Copa America this summer as well.
It's all sorts of things, bro. And then they're gonna go and keep ball in the park, and then they're gonna go and just go and rest, man. It's ridiculous.
But saying Van Dijk, I also hear that there's a discussion between Klopp and Koeman because Van Dijk might be going to play for Netherlands.
I rebuke it.
So and he's just coming out from injury, and he's going to be playing the proper tournament. So look, man, like this summer, I don't know. That's why I'm just like.
And unfortunately, we're not City, who will be like, "That's cool, that's fine. You man go and do
City, just like everybody.
We'll just go. We'll just go and get a whole. Yeah, we'll go and get a whole new 11 that will be like Avengers Unite. You know, we don't have that, so it's like we just.
It even makes selection easier for Pep when some of these people go. Oh, you have Corona. Oh, sorry, you can't play. Oh, that's.
I've got a question for you. I've got a question for you, Zol. Do we get rid of the 4-3-3 next season and move to 4-3-2-1?
No,
I'm not even a Liverpool fan. I think that would be. I don't think that's a question. No,
I don't think we should change
the personnel, Douglas.
Yeah,
it's not.
Because of the personnel, you can't.
No,
because what you said 4-3-2-1, Doug. Yeah,
who's the one?
Yeah. Start from there. Who's
Don't say Salah.
It'll be Salah. It'll be Salah or the one.
Don't Salah would be Salah. Listen, Salah would be the one, but he's not centre forward. When you put one up front, you need
Jota, wouldn't it?
Oh my God! Do you see what Jota did last week?
You know what it is? Yeah. Do you know what that would be like? That would be like having a Bentley and then taking the engine out and then putting a Ford Focus engine in there. You know what I mean? That's literally what it would be like.
You know what I like? I like the 4-2-3-1, but as a plan B in a game. So do you remember when we won the season we won the league and he'd start with the 4-3-3, but when we need a goal, he'd put Origi on the left wing, put Salah up front, Firmino in the 10 and Mane on the right. That used to be an effective plan B. So that's the only way I'm happy with the 4-2-3-1.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I hate the 4-2-3-1.
Like I was pulling my hair.
I love it, man.
Wait, Steve, why do you hate it? Why do you hate it?
Because if you look at if you look down on Anfield when Liverpool are playing, look at a heat map. The centre of the park is cold. All of our work's done down the flanks and across the front and across the back four. If you then complicate the centre of the park by putting an extra body in there, when we did do it this season, you're cramping the space that Mane wants to use, the space that Firmino wants to use, the space that Salah wants to, by putting a fourth body right up against the back four.
Yeah.
If we were to have a plan B, which is probably more feasible given the people we're supposed to sign, I'd prefer to see us go 3-5-2 and do a little bit more with the centre of midfield and push Trent and Robbo right up the pitch, almost as wingers, and then make the front three slightly more narrow to get the little angles that Man City find to try and get those to work for us. I just don't think the 4-2-3-1 helps us. I think it gets congested.
And do you know what, Steve? I hear what you're saying. Would it not mean you'll be harder to penetrate through the middle, though?
So she said.
Not really, because if you play the 3-5-2, for instance, can't believe someone just said that. Killed it, stone dead, haven't they?
I know, as you were, Steve.
Yeah, if you play the 3-5-2 and it breaks down in a quick transition, which we've been stretched by all season because of the personnel. Your number 6 just drops in and your back 3 becomes a back 4, and they're all adept at playing right across the back 4. So straight away, you're not susceptible to the break in the way that we are right now. On the front foot, when we need to beat teams, we need to take a leaf out of Manchester City's book, which is get round the back of people and pull the ball back from the byline, because that's where Manchester City destroy most people. They create angles and get in behind you and work the ball back towards the field of play, and then their players just come onto it and it's a goal. That we need to learn from the angles that City create, and you can do that better with a 3-5-2 than I think you can with a 4-2-3-1. And Bob, you're absolutely right. Mo Salah's not a number 9. He's not a line leader. Absolutely not.
No,
someone
no.
mentioned Ollie Watkins before. As much as I don't want Ollie Watkins, he'd be more effective in that formation than Salah would be.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. But I do think that again it comes back down to our off the ball movement. In a 3-5-2, we would still need to be able to be moving the ball quickly in order for us to be able to get those angles that you're talking about. And it's that lack of movement that we still don't do in a 4-2-3-1. If we had better movement, I'm telling you, there's bare times in a 4-3-2-1 that Thiago's there and he would be able to do them no look through passes, but man's just on a joke thing. And I'm like,
Bro, Thiago was sick.
Let me ask you a question. Saints, if we were here 18 months ago, we wouldn't be having this question.
That's what I'm saying. Where is
because all of the personnel that pull all of the triggers and set all of the traps and do all of the precise movements in our system are in place. We're really critical of our team at the moment because they've treated us to some special football and won the league at a canter. But what we're seeing at the moment is all the things that are supposed to work aren't there. They're not in place. And I'll say it again. There's such a big distance between the front and the back three and the front three. It's scandalous. You're quite right. We take too long to work the ball. And when we do get the ball into a position where a midfielder looks forward, the front three have been closed down. And the other teams are seeing it and they're recognising it and they're knowing it and they're professional football managers for a reason. So they got their game plan is to stifle the way the transition, the way we move the ball. So instead of slagging off the players that Twitter seems to want to slag off at the moment, they need to have a little bit more of a broader understanding and recognise that, we've got square pegs in round holes. We've got square pegs in round holes.
Is that not the problem?
Which is true. But at the same time, I'm looking at that PSG game and I'm seeing man on their one-on-ones skin man for joke. Di Maria skinning man for
confidence.
Joke. Like,
They've got confidence. We've got no confidence.
But did we not see in the second half that Mbappe isn't a number 9?
Well, what you saw in the second half was a microcosm of Pochettino, wasn't it? First half they were brilliant, and when the chips came down, he had nothing to show for it. He didn't respond. He did not respond to Pep's changes at all, mate. At all. He left the same thing out there. And do you know what? If they don't win the league and they don't get to the final, mate, you might not have a job for very much longer because they are ruthless, and that is a disappointing season.
Bad, though. Even though you haven't been there for the whole year, that is bad. You should at minimum be winning Liga. Like with them, come on, man. Like come on.
Yeah. It's like
I would win Liga. I would win Liga.
Like, the two best players, the two best players in the league. You've got to win it. I'm worried about the time, guys. Because I want to wrap up after an hour. We're going to touch on Man United. Personally, I think
must we?
Yeah, I will. Well, you know what? Just to get everyone's 2 cents on the fixture. For me personally, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, obviously we're playing you guys. We're not Arsenal, so we're not gonna be here about bragging rights and stuff. We don't do that. The more I think about the game, I don't care. Do you know, like for this fixture, this season, I don't really care.
It's probably the most less hyped Manchester United Liverpool game I think I can remember.
But do you know why that is? Because every year Liverpool play Manchester United, Sky does a week-long preview of it. The game comes and it's biggest snooze fest.
It's a dead game.
So I think everyone has just clocked after 10 years of being hoodwinked. Let's not be gassed about this game.
Plus the fact that they're second and they can't go first. We just it's just there is actually nothing even to even hype the game. Like there's just.
I can't lie. Me personally, I'm looking forward to it. The only reason is because even though I don't think it can happen, the only time I'm going to give up on top 4 is if we can't mathematically make it.
I hear you.
Yeah. But look
I think we have to be United to have any chance. Not even a draw is good enough. We have to win.
We have to win every game. We have to win every game.
Oh yeah, we have to win top 4.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Daniel. How many games is there left in the season?
4.
5.
We have. No, it's 5.
5.
We haven't managed to put a run of 3.
I know. I know 3 is the most
we
we've
have
done.
to.
I've only done it twice.
Yeah, we haven't, and even then, you're still gassing. We've never done it twice. We had a draw in the middle of the second one.
No, 3 in a row in the league. We've done it twice. The first 3, and then Wolves, Arsenal, Villa.
Arsenal, just now. Okay.
Look what we've been reduced to, guys. We're talking and arguing over whether we've won 3 games in a row. What's going on?
Have you guys seen who we've got left? Like after United, like we've got Southampton, Burnley. West Brom, Burnley, and then Palace at home.
Palace. Yeah, but they're the games we've been dropping points in.
Exactly that. I'd rather big 6 games. Trust me, man. Them games there.
The reason I just dropped that in there because I think this is one of the first times in the last 2 years Liverpool need this more than Man United.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I generally, of course, we'll be watching. Obviously, we want to win, vice versa. But I just think to myself, we're not going to win the league. We're finished in top 4.
And our record at Old Trafford is absolutely horrendous. Since 2004, we have won twice in 17 years. 2009, 4-1, and 2014, 3-0.
The last time we
even
won
when they've been a miles better than them in the last 2 years, we can't beat them there.
And these men are coming up with a 6-2 victory, bruv.
Wait, guys, don't forget we had a record when we're talking about going to Emirates. What happened there?
This is not Arsenal.
This season, records are being broken. So the only positive thing I can take about this Manchester United Liverpool game is that we don't like to lose to each other. So that's the only thing that I'm hoping that Liverpool somehow.
So 0-0 then, yeah.
America. I think what could be different about this game, though. Is because I feel in the last few years, when Klopp has gone to Old Trafford, he's kind of settled for a point. But because we have to win this game, he needs to go for the win. So I think that could be maybe a different.
Ryan, but what hurts me is that. We keep saying that Liverpool needs this. We need this. Like, I'm sorry, the last 2 Premier League games, we didn't show that we wanted it.
And we needed them as well. We needed
those. And if we got those, we'd have less pressure.
We could have afforded. Exactly.
What would be,
to be fair, Vinci,
what would be everyone's starting 11 on Sunday?
Fabinho, back to midfield. Back to midfield.
Vinci. Like we say Fabinho back to midfield, and don't get it twisted. I want Fabinho back to midfield, but then we also have to think about it this way. If Nat Phillips is not fit, Klopp is not going to play Williams. No, you don't want No. Vinci. Did you see what happened in the FA Cup? Did you see what happened in the FA Cup? Did you see Rashford? Take the mick out of him.
We're doing the same mistake Klopp is doing. You can't put Fabinho in defense. I don't care what you say.
Vinci.
Let me tell you why.
We played against Aston Villa's. We played against Aston Villa's GCSE squad, and they ripped Reece Williams.
I get it, but let me tell you why you can't do that. Let me tell you why it was so much worse when he plays defense. Is because he doesn't have the voice. He doesn't have the coverage in that position when you sit him too deep. When he's a defensive midfielder, Fabinho is a beast. So you don't even get to have the kind of threat you get when he's cutting those passes off or he's cutting those runners. When you put him, like the reason why I say I would rather have Reece Williams, I'm not saying Reece Williams is great. Guess what? Nat Phillips is not great as well. But my point is, even get Davis. They're defenders. Let them do what they can, and let Fabinho work the midfield with Thiago and whoever. If Gini wants to play, I don't think he should, but if he wants to play, let him play. And if it's Milner, that's going to be there.
I dare ask, guys.
What's happened to this Ben Davis geezer?
Guys,
he's not real.
Ben Davies was just for the English quota, probably. But I dare ask, right? Or Doug's asking a question, the starting lineup. It's a bit of a tough one, isn't it? Because in the midfield, you want Fabinho to be there, right? To do his job, okay? And to perform. Okay, he'll probably dominate because he done that last time. However, if the ball was to overpass him, you're not really... Are you confident with Rashford, Greenwood, and Cavani going at Williams? And
more worried about Rashford. More worried about Rashford
lambs
than
to the
anyone
slaughter,
else.
bruv. Guys like lambs to the slaughter, bruv.
But so I think that's the question Klopp will probably ask
Bobs,
himself.
even if it was defense, the ball was going over, going to the other. Like the defensive fragilities is still the same thing when Fabinho is playing in the back. Alisson is making one-on-one saves, like even if he's in the back. So I'm wondering, what are we trying to do here? I know we're leaking, we're bleeding right now, but it doesn't help when you set him up at the back.
But Vinci, I think one thing you need to realize, I don't think anyone here wants Fabinho at centre back. If you went through everyone,
no, definitely not.
Klopp has said this so many times. He plays players how, like, he bases starting 11 how players train. And for Ben Davies not to even make the squad is very damning. It shows that he's not good at all in training.
I think the Ben Davies signing was for him to be sold on in the summer. I think that was probably that. The one thing I will say about Fabinho, since the start of the year 2021, we've lost one game with him in the defensive midfield role. So,
But are you shocked
so
at that,
important.
Are you shocked at that though? Because I think
that's his best position. That's his best position. We stand
a much better chance of getting something out of that game if we have a foothold and we control midfield. And you won't do that by putting Fabinho in your back four.
And I actually think we'll have the ball, most of the ball on Sunday. Yeah. I think Man United will definitely counter-attack us.
Yeah,
exactly. It's not going to be like...
I think he has
to play... It's not going to be like the Real Madrid game, where we played Real Madrid away.
Guys. United will sit in and this is on a counter-attack. Why 100%. Wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do that?
And Steve, to add to that, United is not Real Madrid, so their quality of passing, it's also quite flawed. So we can get away a bit. My only thing I'm afraid of is if they play like they did in the second half against Roma.
But we're not. Roma we're not as bad as Roma. Let's be honest, bro.
Yeah, guys. Yeah. Look, with all due respect, Roma have a tendency to get this far in this competition, or any competition, and they get beat very well. And I think it's because they play well against other teams, but when they come against a proper team, I dare say that with Man United, but when you come across a team that just has better players than you, and your team's individually not that good, you'll just get done, and that's what happens.
But let's put some more respect. I know you're trying to be. Wait, hold on. I know you're trying to be humble.
No. But look. Hear me out, Vinci. Hear me out. Roma. Okay. Look what you guys done to Roma. Look what we done to Roma back in the day. And if you look at Roma's league performances, it's not really the best. And with all due respect,
they're 11 points off top four.
There you go.
I get it, but Bobs, there's two stories to this, and for me, I've been watching Man United recently, and they are playing different. Let's not lie. They're playing with more swagger. They're making runs. They're understanding each other. You guys are actually seeing Cavani now. That's the scary bit.
I think we're watching a different United because I don't see anything you just said.
They were crap against Leeds last week.
Saint, you're muted.
I was just about to say, I swear it was just the other day. What did you not? Did you not draw? Or
No. They drew like Leeds. No. It was a dead game, bro.
This is to you.
Come on, man.
He played the wrong team against Leeds. He played the wrong team against Leeds because he had Dan James on, whose like end product is just so bad that he should have probably scored against Leeds. I don't think he will. I think you might see a
think
similar
it will.
team. I think the United team will be probably the exact same team, bar
Pogba.
probably
Pogba.
Henderson for De
Do you
Gea.
know?
Yeah.
Do you know why Dan James will play, bro? Because he didn't play tonight.
No,
I don't see it.
I know what you're saying, but we don't have to win on Sunday. This is my point. So he could play
I know,
anyone,
but
really. Pogba will get
not gonna want to
dropped.
lose to Liverpool, though.
Do you know what? I'm not being funny, right? But I'm over that. Like, this season, if we lose to you, I mean, what? It's
mean?
bragging rights.
You know,
What does it really mean?
So
No, but you know, on paper,
my
you guys
starting
could
11
also be out of the top four, right?
My
On
starting
paper.
11 for us. And now this is based on if obviously Phillips is fit. Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Kabak, Phillips, Robertson, Fabinho, Thiago, Milner, Salah, Jota, Mane.
Thank you. That's it. I agree, 100%.
I'd play Firmino.
Can you say the back four and the midfield three again, Doug?
Yeah, Alexander-Arnold, Kabak, Phillips, Robertson, Fabinho, Thiago, Milner.
Yeah, I'll agree. Yeah.
I'd go Fabinho, Thiago, Milner, Jota, Bobby, Salah.
Okay. Yeah. I can agree with that.
Daniel, I beg, which one is you're picking?
No, I'm picking the second one.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie.
The Jota,
I ain't gonna lie.
Well, at least we're agreeing on the midfield and the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't really think that's much. There's much to really think about.
No, but the thing is, Vinci,
bang goals.
Vinci, you're missing one caveat. I said if Phillips, because Phillips is not fit at the moment. He's still training. He's still training alone, so he might not play.
Okay, so now the question is, if Phillips is not fit, what's your back four? And your midfield? Because some people might drop some people back to defense.
My midfield is Milner, Thiago, Ronaldo.
Ooh. Me too. Me and Daniel think alike, Dan, I like you. You think alike.
And then
with reluctance, I like that.
Vinci. The thing is, I hate Fabinho at centre back. I hate it.
So we're setting up the same way at Leeds and Newcastle.
No, but the thing is,
Man United.
No, but the thing is, Vinci. But like Leeds and Newcastle, both games, the reason why we didn't get 3 points is not because of our defense. The reason why we didn't get 3 points is because our forwards didn't stick the ball in the back of the net.
Okay, but Daniel, I hear you. But at this level, we should be able to hold the lead when it gets to the last 15 minutes.
And also at this level, if you have 5 1-on-1s, you have to put at least more than one of them in the back of the net.
I agree. But since that's the story of the first half...
Vinci, you cannot have more shots on target in a game that you draw 1-1 than a game that you beat a team 7-0 in. It doesn't make no sense. That just don't make, and you think that you're gonna then put all of. So what we're saying is we put more onus on the defense than we do. So because really and truly, if the attackers take 1 of 2 or 3 of their chances, we're not talking about this. So we don't hold them in as high regard for doing their job than we do for defenders. They have to be perfect.
We've seen this in football now. Man City went to play Leeds. How many shots did Leeds have? And they beat them with 10 men. We've seen
that. That was just one game. That was one game.
Yeah,
do you want to really bear? You see the 6 games that Steve mentioned that we lost at home.
Yeah,
we lost them by 1 goal.
Mm-hmm.
If our attackers take any of the chances that we come out of those games, 2-1, 3-1, 6-1, 10-1, no one's saying nothing. But we lost them all points by 1 goal.
Yes.
Our strikers are impotent, bro.
Yes,
you don't want to listen
agree. I won't disagree with you. But what I'm saying,
final word, then we're wrapping up.
Is if your strikers misfire and you're a defender, you're a midfielder, and it's the last 10 minutes, what do you want your strikers to do? You can't. The job is to finish the game off. You do your best to close it up. The same way we're losing by 1, it's the same way teams are holding us off
Yeah,
By
I
one.
hear what you're saying, but there's too much. Oh, but there's not but. When you've missed flipping nine chances, you have to be accountable for those. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but there has to be some accountability, brother. Especially when you weren't doing it the game before, or the game before that, or the game before that. It's like, bro, come on, man.
I hear you.
Okay. Gentlemen, on that note, we'll wrap up. No, listen. I can listen to you guys all day. I love it. I think
Of course you love it. Of course you love it. Get out of here, man. Get out of here, man.
I think,
go and watch your highlights. Go and get your Vaseline and watch your highlights and enjoy your night, man.
I just think,
Bobs, real quick, are we feeling like we can beat Manchester United? Can we say it with our chest?
No.
I mean, I just generally think, when the players touch that pitch, okay, we're all going to be injured for.
Yep.
If Liverpool score first, we're in for a good game, you know. And if Man United score first,
we ain't winning.
Yeah. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say? I kid you not, guys. Like, this is probably the first time I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like, there's no meaning to it. Like, no, because I just think there's no meaning to the game. We're still gonna stay second. Yeah. You guys need the points more. We're more likely to probably give you the game. Like, that's what I say. Or we'll probably do a 5-star performance, and all the United fans will be like, "Where was this?"
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And do you know? It's just, it won't be a true reflection of the season for both teams. You know, and we're not Arsenal here, where we're going to be like bragging rights, Bob. This ain't the social media derby. Do you know
You're lying to yourself, because my socials will pop off like Vinci's will. Stop it.
You listen. You all get a voice note.
Corn me.
You'll all get a voice note. But my point is that, like, for the first time in a while,
I hear you.
I'm not too fussed, because, like, do you know what? Yeah, there's times when, like, you've came to Old Trafford in the Gerrard days, right? We were going for the league and stuff, and I hated you lot. I hate it because I was like, Gerrard, do you know, Torres, Kite, Didier Hamann, do you know, Chabi, like, come on, like, look at the players I'm talking about now.
I know that hate was real. Do you know how I know that hate was real? Because in a season where you would end up winning the flipping league, you would still have that hate for a man that was all he had that season. That's literally beating you was our trophy. And I'm thinking, like, you got time to have hate for us. You man are on big stuff. Like,
do you know what I'm saying? And, like, I think now it's just like, don't get me wrong, I think next season will be a different conversation, because I think both teams will regroup, as Steve was saying, and go again. So but listen, you know the household rules. Household rules. Obviously, we've got a debut Doug, first time on the Kopping mechanism. So please let the guys know where they can find you and subscribe to you, man.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully I can, come back on a few more of these as well.
Listen, bro, any Liverpool fan is always welcome on this show. So if you want to come back on, come back on. 100%.
Absolutely. You can find me at the Dugout Football channel on YouTube, on Instagram, I'm Douglas.Horn. On Twitter, it's Enrod_1992, as you can see on the screen there. And Facebook is Douglas James Horn. But thank you very much for having me, Bobs. I really do appreciate it.
No, man, listen, like Saint just lives outside Glasgow. Doug, so he's another Scottish resident, so we all need to link up.
You wouldn't know it, but
I know. And on that note, Saint, let the people know where they can find you and where they can subscribe to you, bro.
Saint LFC TV on YouTube. Like I said, did a combined 11 with my guy Bits and Bobs, Beats Corner, and Flawless. It's a good watch, man. It's a good banter. Like I said, it comes out tomorrow, so please go and give that a watch. That'll be much appreciated. And Saint LFC TV on Instagram.
Big up. Yeah, it was a good show. It was funny. It was funny, that one. Funny. Papilo, Daniel, let people know where they can find you, bro.
You can find me on No Agenda Podcast. It's a new podcast I'm going to be launching at the end of the season, so watch out for that.
Big up. Ryan?
You can find me mostly on Sarkson City TV. I've got a Q&A actually in like half an hour, so if you want to
plug it, man, plug it.
Then people go into that. And also I'm doing a United Liverpool watch along on that channel on Sunday, so yeah, that should be good as well.
Nice. Nice. I'm glad I don't have to ask you to watch the game now. Brilliant. Steve. Steve, yourself.
You can get me at Red Sky Pods. That's going to be rebranded at the end of the season because we're going to go more towards a Premier League focus rather than just a Liverpool focus to open up and get more people involved and have different people doing shows for their clubs. So keep your eye on that. That's
brilliant.
But in the meantime, Red Sky Pods is where it's at for me.
Brilliant. Guys, listen, another great pod, literally. It's funny, isn't it? We talked more about Liverpool than we actually did the game. I've not forgot about Vinci. Vinci, let them know where you are. I know it's always short and sweet, but yeah.
Yeah. Vinci Codino, Instagram.
As I said, short and sweet, ladies and gents. Listen, to the panel, you guys are the content. I hope you guys obviously
Papilo, guys go over to the wrap up. Go and check out Bits and Bobs and stuff, man. Make sure you're going over and supporting, man.
Oh, you're too kind, man. You're too kind.
He puts in a lot of effort in this. He's awesome and he enjoys this far too much, but he does put in a lot of work. So make sure you're going to support my guy.
Oh no, bless up. Everyone, good night. I will say that look, Liverpool, Man United, two biggest clubs in England. Sunday will probably be a good advert of how bad both our clubs have been this
season. big facts. Big facts.
So yeah, good night to everyone. Peace and love to you all.